Welcome back to another video on the WrestleDebate and to another edition of NXT 2.0 out of 10. And yeah, we're a few weeks into this new NXT now, and yeah, it's interesting. Lots of new stuff happening. And yeah, you could argue it's going both ways. I'm personally enjoying it, so let's get straight into it. Toxic Attraction kicked off the show, and we were heading for a match right away between Mandy Rose and Ember Moon. Moon got the early advantage and taunted Mandy in the corner before hanging her up in a tree of woe. JC and GG dragged Mandy to safety before Moon powerbombed Mandy onto the apron off a counter before going after Dolan from ringside. Rose took advantage of the ring and slowed things down with a series of holds. Mandy then dodged the eclipse and hit a knee to pick up the win. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Yeah, this was a fun, high-profile match to kick off the show. Pleased for Mandy to get the win, but yeah, kind of Ember got jobbed out here, which was a shame. Legado del Fantasma were then backstage and said Hit Row escaped their fate before being drafted to SmackDown before Escobar challenged World for the title, which I guess will win with the impending main roster move. Then it was LA Knight versus Odyssey Jones. LA Knight got the first punch in, but it angered Odyssey. The $4 million champion, however, managed to come back after a short spell of attack. Knight tried to lift Jones for a slam, but he was too heavy, and Knight fell. However, Andre Chase interrupted the match. Knight took advantage and hit a neck breaker before Chase pushed Jones' foot away from the ropes, so he couldn't break the pin. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, this is a fun match. Grimes was then being interviewed backstage on NXT, and he said that everyone has a love of interest except him. He was interrupted by Pete Dunne and Ridge Holland and challenged Grimes to a match before they walked off. Back on NXT, Kyle O'Reilly told Von Wagner that he would appreciate help against Dunn and Holland over the past few weeks, but he is hesitant to trust anyone after past year's events. Kyle told Wagner to let him handle his own business from now on, before Tommaso Ciampa accepted a match against Bron Breakker on October 26th for the title. He told Breakker that he had 3 weeks to get himself ready for the big match. Joe Gacy was then back and talked about peaceful conflict resolution before saying that there could be 2 winners in a match. Jesus Christ. Gacy then took Ikeman Jiro and hit a bunch of sling blades early on. He then hit a splash in the corner and slammed Jiro into the ring before hitting an Irish whip. Jiro countered a big suplex and hit a neck breaker before attacking Gacy. Gacy went up to the top and Jiro hit a high kick before bringing him down to the mat. Jiro came in for a kick, but Gacy countered into the handstand lariat for a win. After the match, Gacy gave Jiro a hug before leaving the arena. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. But it's lucky it's not a 5 out of 10 because, yeah, I'm just really not sure about this gimmick, to be honest. So that was Corey Jade against Ty Valkyrie. Jade was sent into the corner early on from Monet and hit double kicks in the corner before trying for a submission in the ring. Jade dodged the splash, however, in the corner before suddenly rolling Monet up for the quick win. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, kind of came out of nowhere. Monet got very kind of losing to this inexperienced person, but yeah, obviously good for Jade, but let's just see where it goes. Before MXK were backstage on NXT and had an argument with GYV before a brawl broke out. JC then walked out to Ciampa backstage and said he wants the title shot as well. Ciampa said that if he can beat him next week, Gacy will be added to the title match at Halloween Havoc. Before we got Pete Dunne versus Cameron Grimes. Dunn took advantage of the match early on and sent Grimes into the mat before going for his trademark finger stretch. Grimes came back in with a running knee strike in the corner before hitting a top rope crossbody. Dunn tried to get Grimes to submit before being caught in a bridge for a near fall. Dunn then threw Cole over the announce table as he interrupted before heading back into the ring and hit a bitter end to pick up the win. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Really put Dunn over here. Holland just hanging around for a bit before his main roster move. But yeah, on the whole, this was really fun. Hit Row were then backstage and said they weren't running from Legado but running to the money on SmackDown before NXT continued. Tony D'Angelo then made his NXT debut and got the early advantage against Malik Blade. Malik then sent D'Angelo outside with a big dropkick before Blade tried to fight back, but D'Angelo took him down and caught him in another hold. Blade then got a near fall off the top rope and hit a crossbody before Tony landed a belly suplex and then hit a spinning Fishman suplex for the win. Yeah, good debut for Tony D'Angelo. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Looking forward to seeing what he can do on NXT because, yeah, it definitely looks like he has a lot of potential. Before next up on NXT, it was Indy Hartwell versus Mai Yen. Ying took Indy down early on and hit a stomp on her before taking Hartwell into the corner. Indy fought back and tried for some offense, but Mai Yen was too powerful and locked in a chokehold. Ying then sent Indy into the steps post before Hartwell was pushed out the way. Indy took advantage of the distraction and hit a springboard elbow drop on Mai Yen to pick up the win. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. Yeah, to be honest, this match just didn't make a lot of sense for me. I don't know if other people enjoyed it, but yeah, I kind of felt like Mai Yen should have got the W here. Indy Hartwell, a loss wouldn't have really hurt her. So yeah, I just wasn't 100% sure on this. Raquel Gonzalez was out next on NXT and took some shots at Toxic Attraction for the blindside last week. She threatened to put Mandy in a body cast if she came for the title again, before Rose and crew walked out before calling the champ desperate and said that Toxic Attraction were taking over and would secure the gold. Stark and Shirai then rushed the ring and Gonzalez had no choice but to back them up, before Von Wagner told Kyle O'Reilly next week that they'll be going 2-on-2 against Dunn and Holland. Yeah, all of these segments were all alright. The women's stuff is getting quite interesting now, quite tasty, to be fair, and then the match next week, the 4 men should be good. But anyway, next up was MSK versus Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams versus GYV versus Briggs and Jensen for the championships. MSK and GYV started off before Melo came in and took Carter to the mat before hitting a double team move. A brawl broke out at ringside as Briggs and Jensen cleaned house. Before back in the ring, MSK took Trick down in a chaotic match and pinned him for the first elimination. Drake and Gibson then took control of the champs in the ring before Carter was taken down with a huge kick. Gibson then went for a pin, but Briggs and Jensen sneaked in a tag, so it didn't count. Briggs and Jensen then wiped Gibson out after he realised what had happened and the GYV were eliminated, before Briggs and Jensen wiped out Lee in the corner before getting near fall. Jensen and Briggs set up for a big move, but Carter reversed it. And he rushed the ring and took out Briggs before Lee reversed the powerbomb and got the win. After the match, Imperium attacked the champs and Briggs and Jensen came down to make the save, but they were too late. I give this 7 out of 10. This was a really, really fun match, really elevating the tag team division. Overall this week, NXT gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I enjoyed NXT this week. It was fun from start to finish. There weren't some questionable bits, but yeah, NXT is just quite fast paced. Lots happening. It's an enjoyable 2-hour watch. So yeah, this new NXT, I think it's going pretty well so far. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share and subscribe. Remember your thoughts, comments down below. Follow on to the Think Description plate for daily wrestling news and subscribe to our channel. That would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.